Welcome back, Egyptology lovers. We're doing today plate 29. This is a chapter 175 from the Book of the Dead, a relatively long retrograde text. Appears on plate 29 here. Now, the vignette depicts Ani and Tutu standing before Thoth. So you have here Ani and Tutu, very simply dressed, very simply drawn, which I can only assume they were generic pictures from one of the many commercialized documents that were created, standing before Thoth right over here. And Thoth, who squats on a plinth representing a tomb, and he is holding an 𝓿 in his hands as well. And he is in the form of a godly spirit. The title, Chapter for Not Dying Again, presents one of the major themes of the Book of the Dead. The problem of understanding the nature of this text is made harder by the wide variation among its examples everywhere you find. The Papyrus of Ani preserves one of the more interesting examples. In Ani's version, he has a conversation with Atum, who is the self-created in the beginning in the waters of 𝓄𝓈�𝓇𝑌, who seems to reassure him that he will be content in the afterlife. This contrasts oddly with the overwhelming majority of the chapters, where Ani seeks to use virtually any means possible to gain entrance in the company of the gods, even to extent of threatening them. Ani's protestation that there may not be lovemaking in the afterlife seems natural enough, considering that Tutu is standing behind him as she speaks, or as he speaks. The view of the afterlife as a place in which one becomes a spiritualized being beyond all earthly needs and desires sharply contradicts a very common motif in which the deceased asserts or wishes that his body may function exactly as it did on earth. Another striking aspect of the chapter is that of Atum, who created the universe, describes how the universe will end by his destroying it and returning the earth to the waters of 𝓄𝓈𝓇𝑌. Only the creator and few of the gods will survive. So very interesting, bizarre chapter here that we have. So we'll read it through. So that's the description right there. Let's get into reading it right over here, starting retrograde again, reading from left to right, moving towards the west as the papyrus does. So stay tuned for that. So over here it says, chapter 4, not in dying again or repeatedly. Word spoken by the Osiris, Ani, and justified or vindicated. And the word justified and vindicated here is very simply or crudely drawn, just two straight lines as opposed to actually drawing the hieroglyph. So it shows you the commercialization and rushing and writing and filling in the information. Over here now, this is now speaking to Thoth. O Thoth, that who utters, what has come forth, or what has manifested of and in the children of 𝓄𝓈𝓇. 𝓄𝓈𝓇 is the sky goddess in the primordial times. They have made war, and this is you for the new sentence, and they have raised up tumult or noise and made a lot of ruckus. They have done wrong, and they have created rebellion. They have done slaughter, and they, which continues here, they have created imprisonment. This is you for a new sentence. They have reduced what was great to what is little in all that we have made. Continuing here now. The Lord who gives, show greatness, O Thoth. So says Atum. So now Atum is going to speak. You shall not see wrongdoing, and you, which is over here, you shall not, which is over here now, suffer it, which is over here, suffer it. Shorten their years and cut short their months, because of whom they have done hidden damage to all that you have made. I am who has your palate, O Thoth. I bring to you your inkpot. I am not among those who have done hidden damage to you. And none will do harm therein on me. Word spoken by the Osiris Ani. Going up here now, Ani. Now continuing, O Atum, this is Ani speaking to Atum, that speaks, I have traveled to this realm of the dead, which has no water of and no air, and of deep, here we go, up here, deep continues, and dark, and which is unsearchable. Now Atum says, live therein in content of the heart in the realm of the dead, which is the God's domain. Now Ani says to Atum, but there is no making of love, continuing up here, in it also. Now Atum speaks over here. I have given spirit of instead of water, and air with lovemaking. And be content of the heart in the place where there is bread, and continuing up here, and beer. So says him, Atum, which he continues to speak over here. And in seeing your face. And now I will not suffer for you to lack of anything. Now Ani speaks. You, which is a sentence over here, we don't speak it, we just know that it's a new sentence. Every god he has taken, continuing up here, his place in the bark of millions, so the sacred bark of millions. Now Atum speaks. You, new sentence, your seat belongs now to your son Horus. Thus speaks Atum. Now he continues to speak. And now he will be dispatching the elders. Continue up here. Thereby, now he will rule your seat. Thereby, to inherit the seat or throne which is in the lake of fire. Continuing now. Now command that I may see his equal for my face. Continuing up here. To see the face of the Lord Atum, that utterance which he speaks. For the duration, which is time, of life. So he says. Now this continues. You, Atum now speaks. He says, you, therefore, shall be millions upon millions. A lifetime in millions. Now these millions are years, so millions and millions of years. This is you now introduces a new sentence, and it says, I will let dispatch the elders. This is you again, introduces a new sentence. And now I am to destroy all that I have made. And over here is you again, a new sentence. This earth is to return to the primordial waters, which continues up here. To the surging floods, like its chief state. So its chief state. I am to remain with Osiris. I to make transformation, or my transformation, into you. Right over here. Namingly, which is over here, namely, a serpent. And without you men or people knowing, and without you gods seeing. How good is this, what I have done for Osiris? Even more for than all the gods. This is EU for a new sentence. I have given him the desert. This is EU again. Now, for his son, Horus, as an inheritance upon his throne, which is in the island of fire. This is EU again, a new sentence. I have made what appertains, continuing up here, to his place, continuing back up, in the sacred bark of millions. This is EU again, another sentence. And Horus is firm upon his throne for in order to or wanting to find or found his establishment. Now, continuing up here, the soul of Set, which we come back if you're here for the verb, travels, the leg for travels, further than any god. Now this is Ani asking Atum. And now we proceed to Atum speaking right over here. This is EU, a new sentence. For I have let to cause his soul, which is in the bark, or the sacred bark, for him to be restrained, so that the body of the god may be afraid, which is Set, basically restraining his body and making him afraid. And now Ani speaks, right over here. Oh, my father Osiris, do you for me what your father Ra has done for you. So he's asking Osiris to do the same for him as Ra has done for Osiris, so that I may be long-lived upon the earth. Continuing up here, and that my throne will be well-founded or good-founded. Continuing here, and that my heir may be in good health. So his son, who he left after he died. Continuing here, and that my tomb be long enduring, and of that my beloveds or his family upon the earth. Continuing up here now, let that my enemies for being split or torn apart, and let the scorpion be upon their bones. For I am your son of my father Re or Ra. Continuing up here for the final column. Do you this for me, for the sake of my life, stability, and health. This is EU introduces a new sentence over here. For Horus is firmly established upon his throne, and may you give me that lifetime to come to attain of the blessed state. So that's the completion of this plate 29. I hope you enjoyed to see how conversation between the deceased and the gods goes about. So a lot of interesting ideas about the afterlife and what the god will do at the end of the world. He will basically reflood the world again as he did the first time. So an interesting idea, very harks to the current religions that have adoption of the creation as well. So there it is. Thank you very much for enjoying. We're going to jump to plate 30. Stay tuned for that. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, TikTok, and also here on YouTube. Just like and subscribe. Thank you very much.